So we are in Seekonk, Massachusetts, at a plaza that has so many memories for me. And of course, right behind me is one of my favorite, now completely gone restaurants called Old Country Buffet.
A couple of significant points to make about OCB.
Yeah.
Which, was that, by the way, like a common name for it, or did you
I think it was just us.
We always said OCB.
Yeah.
We used to have OCB day where we would skip school and come here and just pig out till we passed out.
Dude.
They used to have those like, hey, if you read this many books a month, we'll give you like a $10 gift card to OCB.
Yep.
And so my mom would take me when I would earn them, and they had giant things of mac and cheese that was actually really good.
Yes.
And otherwise, it was just American food.
Yeah.
But I remember like being like, this place is amazing. I can eat as much as I want. And like, I'd never been to a buffet before. And I remember people were like, ew. That like place that old people go for breakfast or whatever.
2 years ago, they closed the Country Kitchen Buffet in Steamboat Springs, and all the old people died of starvation in less than a week.
There was something about the mac and cheese. It was very gooey, first of all. It was my kind of mac and cheese.
Yep.
Because it was baked in those tins.
Yeah.
It had this crust.
Yes.
Around the corners.
What they would actually do, they would buy just processed cheese cans, mix it with the pasta, and then put real cheese on top, and then put it in the oven. And that would give it that nice little crusty top.
And do you remember like a couple of fatties? We would just wait. And we'd be like, well, because as it got down to the bottom, it wasn't as good. We would just wait for it.
Yeah, wait for the fresh pot to come out, and then scoop all the top onto our plates.
Yes.
There were some things that I loved here. I loved the country-fried little steaks that you could get with the white gravy. I loved that they had chocolate milk on a dispenser where you could get all the chocolate milk you wanted. The great ice cream toppings bar.
Have you ever been to a Las Vegas buffet?
Never.
I've been to some of the best. You pay like $75 a head.
Ooh, baby.
Are they better than OCB? Of course. But
Right.
the concept is the same.
Yeah.
You walk up to a thing and there's prime rib and then you take, it's because you can only eat so much.
That's right.
That's the model of a buffet.
Absolutely.
Because they're like, you're not, you're going to come in here thinking you're getting a lot of value, but in reality.
Yeah.
You might ask something like this.
Is it still hot out there?
Or this.
Did you catch a game last night?
Or this.
Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
They used to do coupons. They had a pretty good it was like $11.
It was $11.
Yeah.
And then we would sometimes go for like a pre-lunch that was a little cheaper.
Yeah, we go in at breakfast a half hour before and then stay into the lunchtime, and they weren't strict about it.
What did you like better, OCB or Vegas buffet?
OCB.
I remember we went on a Thanksgiving.
Yes, we did. I don't know why we were all free at Thanksgiving, but we definitely went on a Thanksgiving.
Well, my parents eat early. Somehow I had room for OCB.
We definitely went. I remember that. It was incredible.
Did these sound like the actions of a man who had all he could eat?
No! That could have been me.
They had those glistening buns.
Yes, just loaded with toppings.
Apparently it's a paper store
It's a paper goods store now.
There were two, as you said. One in Dartmouth, which is now a dental.
Yeah, it's some kind of dental place.
And there was this one. We always went to the Dartmouth one because it was nearby.
Yep.
It became famous, unfortunately, because one of the employees killed the manager.
Yes, in the bathroom.
Prosecutors say he beat and stabbed his supervisor to death at the Old Country Buffet in Dartmouth 4 years ago.
So we started calling it Murder Buffet.
Yes, and we'd still go. That did not keep people away.
Because that topping on that mac and cheese
was that good.
We would, on occasion, be like, let's get in the car and go for a road trip.
Yep.
An extra 15 minutes.
Yep.
And let's go to the good one. This was the good one.
The good one.
Where people did not be murdered.
They would refresh the food frequently.
Yes.
And there was more seating.
Yep, it was good stuff. Talking about this place's closure, they all closed very suddenly. And at the time, Matt and I were actually going for breakfast pretty regularly, and we had just been 2 weeks before it closed. We just showed up one day, and it was like, Old Country Buffet is closed.
Forever.
Yeah, and it was very sad, and it was like, aw, there's still a few Chinese buffets around, but American food buffets like Ponderosa are definitely something that's disappearing.
I have a funny memory. I remember I went with Nina. I remember saying like, oh, I can eat way more than you. And she was like, I don't know, I can eat a lot. She was like, I can eat a lot. And I was like, there's no way. We had an eating contest.
Really?
And she won. Wow. She totally could eat more than me. Do you remember having an eating contest with me at OCB?
No. Who won?
You.
It was me, right?
Yep.
They had a chocolate mousse, like a little chocolate mousse pie that was pre-cut for you in the little dessert dishes. I would eat like 3 of them.
There was a huge store that I used to love to go to called Lechmere, down the end where Target is now. That was a huge family destination, very frequently shopped there.
Like a Best Buy before Best Buy?
Yeah, it also had like bicycles and small appliances, all that kind of stuff.
Department store with a focus on electronics.
Yeah, closed late 90s, early 2000s.
I remember seeing the first ever Super Mario 64 like demo station at a Lechmere.
There used used to be a building supply store. I think it was a Builder Square down where that movie cinema is now. Amazingly, a store that I used to visit when I was a little kid is still there, Children's Orchard. I was like, didn't there used to be a store there we'd go and buy like high quality toys? And yes, there is, and it's still there. There was the Heartland, which was the big grocery store that disappeared. Now there's the Kohl's there.
The GameStop is still there, actually, but next to the GameStop was a movie stop.
Yep.
Movie stop was awesome, actually.
Yeah, Frankie frequented that a lot.
It was kind of post-Blockbuster, but pre-streaming. If you want to buy a lot of DVDs on good sale,
Yep.
As far as a chain went, it was a pretty good one. And then there was a very short period where they realized they can't sell optical media anymore because nobody buys it because it's streaming.
Yep.
And they did the GameStop thing of like selling you toys instead. And actually, it was a pretty amazing store for merchandise and for like memorabilia. It was like the whole place was packed with it. I remember a couple of Halloweens in a row. Again, this is before streaming.
Yep.
We just wanted lots of Halloween movies. And we went in there with $50 and left with a
ton.
giant bag
Yep.
of Halloween DVDs. Life was just better when I was eating OCB and walking out of places.
You're darn
with-
right. It sure certainly was, wasn't it?
Yeah, rip.
Rip.
These pillars, were these OCB?
The pillars were, but they've been re-stoned.
If you think really hard, you can almost remember the smells. Yeah, it's just open floor space.
Yeah.
It doesn't look anything like OCB.
The kitchen used to be over there, so now it's all nothing.
Just real quick, this is the Dartmouth one.
Yes, this was our OCB.
Yeah.
This was the one I went to many hundreds of times. The other one I went to maybe 20 or 30 times.
This is Murder Buffet.
This is Murder Buffet.
And what? Half of it is still abandoned kitchen, and half of it is
Yes.
affordable dentures and implants. I mean, it's all renovated.
Yeah, it's all been. It makes me sad. The buffets are still there. With a couple months of work, you could open those right back up. Not really.
Waiting forever to be refilled.
What grade are you in at school?
Or this.
Have you decided what dessert you're going to have?
Or this.
Do you like hot fudge sundaes?